Turkish Airlines Euroleague. I feel devotion.
In this episode, looking ahead to the top 16, the regular season group winners are ready to raise their biddings. A portrait of Curtis Jarrells and his team Besiktas, the newcomers to this stage. We unveil some of the greatest games scheduled in the first game of the top 16. And last but not least, we will relive some amazing plays with the top 10 of the regular season. There are different ways to play and win basketball games. You can rely more on finesse, strength, or strategy. It depends on your basketball philosophy. FC Barcelona Regal made its choice and made it clear under coach Xavi Pascual. He and his team are working extremely hard with players not generally known for their defensive skills. Marcelinho Huertas, Sarunas Jasikevičius and Juan Carlos Navarro won many games with their baskets, three-pointers and assists. Also, Barca is relying on different kinds of big men compared to the past, with Ante Tomic and Nathan Jawai bringing their weight and size in the paint. It means that coach Pascual had to adjust his system.
We always try to defend the best way possible. In the last few years, we have defended really well. This year, though, we have different characteristics with our inside players, and so we have to organise ourselves differently compared to other years.
Not as flashy as a flurry of three-pointers, not as spectacular as a series of big dunks. The Barcelona defense is digging a deep furrow in the shadows to keep other teams out. The Blaugranas held their opponents to 67 points or less in 8 regular season games, forcing Lietuvos Rytas Vilnius and Besiktas Istanbul to stay under 50 points when playing at home. Last year, Barcelona finished the regular season with an average of 59.9 points per game conceded. This season, they did slightly worse with 63.6, which is still an amazing result. And that came despite the arrival of some important new players during the off-season.
As coaches, we have to adapt to the characteristics of our players. And of course, they have to adapt to a way of playing, so that we can keep playing to the best of our ability.
All true champions know how and when the defense can change the destiny of a team. In 2010, Barca won the Euroleague with the same coach Xavi Pascual and the same leaders Juan Carlos Navarro, Erazem Lorbeck and Pete Michael. That was a tremendously offensive team that changed its destiny by blocking the basket in key moments with an amazing team effort. This year, the team has the same goal: win another Euroleague trophy.
Every year is very difficult, and it is the same this year. There are many teams that are aiming for a place in the Final Four, and we will do our best to reach that goal. So I expect this season to be even harder.
Real Madrid are Barcelona's biggest rival since the two clubs were founded. It is also the same when it comes to their basketball styles. If the Blaugranas bet on their defense above everything else, Madrid established its system choosing players with unbelievable offensive skills. One of the main symbols comes off the bench. His name is JC Carroll, who's playing another very good season after his 14.2 points per game in his rookie campaign. He fits in very well with the way his team wants to play.
It was a fantastic start to my EuroLeague career. It was really exciting to be able to come in and have an impact like that and shoot such high percentages. High percentages are important to me. And, really it's just a product of our team, the style we played, the players that I was playing with.
87.9 per game last year, the scoring leaders. 83.2 in this season, second after Montepaschi Siena. These are the fantastic numbers surrounding the prolific Real Madrid offense.
We have a great system. We like the style we play. We're happy in the system. And we all just continue to grow every day. We just have to support each other, help each other, understand what we want, and to get through frustrations and try and play without frustration.
Last year, he took advantage from his first appearance ever with an historical club, finding the perfect role to be effective. He became the man who could change any game coming off the bench.
I enjoy this role. I enjoy coming off and shooting shots. This is what I've done my entire career. I've been a shot maker. When I'm out there, you never know how much time you get, so you need to take advantage of every second you get.
As every basketball player knows, you can never separate offense and defense. That's why even an offensive-orientated team like Real Madrid has to create its chances to make up-tempo plays in the most reliable way.
You can't be a very high-efficient, high-scoring team if you play terrible defense. So, our offense really starts on the defensive end. We try and get turnovers, we try and get rebounds, and so we can get out and run. If the other team's scoring every time, we're taking it from the baseline, it slows down our rhythm, and we can't get out and score so many points. So, really, defense is really the biggest factor, and probably the biggest key for us to have success throughout Euroleague.
Boom Boom Carroll looks the right man in the right system of the right team. By the way, where did his nickname come from?
In my first year playing over here in Italy, in Teramo, we were down 6 points with about 10 seconds to go, and I made a three-pointer. We stole the inbounds pass, and I made another three-pointer in about 5 seconds, and so the fans started saying boom boom, because I made 2 threes in a row that was just like boom boom, and it stuck ever since. It's kind of funny.
Some of the great basketball philosophy and culture of Real Madrid has crossed borders to try to establish the same system in a very different situation. Rimantas Cauquenas played in Madrid in 2009-10, together with his current teammate Darius Lavrinovic. Now he's back in his native country after a 10-year absence, after playing for Lietuvos Rytas Vilnius back in the 2001-2 season. The call from Žalgiris Kaunas was great honour for him and a great motivation. He told us exactly why.
To play in Lithuania means to play for the fans that actually, from your country, that breathe basketball and they really understand every move you make. They give you everything they got. Also, they come to all the games. For me, it's a joy to play for the crowd, like this, because they really know and appreciate basketball.
As a very ambitious player, Cauquenas was sure that he was coming to a winning project when he decided to sign with Žalgiris, the surprise winners of Group C despite the presence of the defending champion, Olympiacos Piraeus.
I think the most important thing is to believe in your teammates and in the coach and in everything you do. That's the key to success. So I believed from the get-go and that we can do something.
Cauquenas was joined by another former Real Madrid piece, Joan Plaza, who spent his first 3 years as the head coach of a top professional team with Real Madrid from 2006 to 2009.
He's tough. He asks players to do their best and he pushes them to the limit. But at the same time, he knows when to retrieve, to make a little step back, to give somebody a rest or somebody. And he knows the little details, and it seems like he is really enjoying to manage the team.
Rimantas and his teammates know that Plaza accepted a huge challenge by coming to Lithuania. There are certainly some differences between those two great basketball schools.
Not a great difference, but just the way of working, the way of approaching, and the way of reading the game. Lithuanian basketball a little bit more so-called academic. Spanish basketball is, I would say, faster pace, high tempo.
There'll be a lot of interesting things to watch when Zalgiris cross the path of Real Madrid during the top 16. Also because we know that Kaukenas is a true warrior who recovered from some very serious injuries and is still making an impact thanks to his physical strength and basketball experience. His build is reminiscent of some action movie heroes, which is a good reason why he can scare you rather than be scared.
A few times when I played in Israel, there was some funny things, because if I walk on outside in the mall in Tel Aviv, people sometimes think, "Are you Dolph Lundgren?"
The last group winner, Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv, has its own identity. The aim is to win and make the fans feel good. When you get off the couch to see them live, it's never a waste of time. The Israeli champions always bring some interesting new faces and spectacular players to the competition. At 24, Malcolm Thomas is young enough to make further improvements to his game. He's athletic enough to produce big plays and drive the Nokia Arena crazy. Of course, first and foremost as a rookie, he has a lot of things to learn. The deep front court of his team is a great opportunity for him, with players such as Sean James and Leo Eliao, as he can assimilate what he needs during practices and watching them during games.
I think we're one of the best in Euroleague. You know, we all have our different ways of bringing what we can do to the game, and you know, we play well together, and in practice we go at each other really hard, so we better each other.
Thomas has not taken shortcuts to get the chance to be part of one of the greatest Euroleague basketball families. Once he left college basketball in 2011, Thomas went to play in Korea for Mobis Phoebus. A very unusual path for a future Euroleague top team player.
You know, playing in Korea was a lot different from playing in Israel. You know, not a lot of people spoke English. I had an interpreter, but my family was there, so overall it was a good experience. But, you know, the basketball side is a little different as far as I was the only American on the team, and here there's, you know, about 5 or 6, so I would probably say that's the only difference.
Now fighting for the most valued prize in European basketball, Malcolm believes that he and his teammates have enough upside to get ready for the hard times later in the season.
I feel like we can only get better. You know, we started off pretty good, and we've been practicing really hard, going against each other really hard. So I feel like we've improved a lot, and we're going to continue to improve.
Hey, this is Boki Nagbar from Brose Baskets. Follow Euroleague on Twitter @Euroleague, #IFeelDevotion.
feel devotion.
Barcelona, Real, Maccabi and Zalgiris are well known to every European basketball fan because of their long tradition in the Euroleague. But there is also a newcomer at this level of the competition. Last year it was Galatasaray, this year it is Beşiktaş JK. The so-called third Turkish team have sprung a real surprise. In their first ever appearance in the Turkish Airlines Euroleague, the club from Istanbul have reached the second round. An amazing finish to a great year. This incredible result was achieved thanks to a lot of work and devotion on and off the floor. Curtis Jarrells has been the top scorer of the team throughout the regular season, scoring 15.5 points per game, and perhaps he is now the real leader of the team. Even if this is only the first season with Beşiktaş, he has enough experience to know how to build the right chemistry.
If you play in European basketball, your team pretty much changes each year. I've been on, this is my, I think, third, fourth team. Other than just getting to know each other, I think off the court, you know, we hang out, we go to lunch and dinner and things like that. It'll make things a lot easier for us on the court, you know, as it has for us thus far.
The consequences of this behaviour were visible during the regular season, where Beşiktaş earned its qualification earlier than expected, winning 4 of the first 7 games. Curtis wasn't the only player scoring in double digits in the first 10 games, as his fellow countryman Patrick Christopher added more than 10. And the big man Damir Markota was also close to 10 points per contest. All of them are great shooters, which is a fundamental key.
I think European basketball is, you know, you have to be able to, you know, have shooters and be able to shoot the ball. We're fortunate to have some big guys that can shoot, you know, guards that can shoot, so it's gonna be interesting.
The American guard of Beşiktaş is sure of one thing. His team managed to qualify not only because of their offensive skills, which are very good, but also because of their great defense effort.
Just, you know, play together, you know. We go to dinner and lunch and, you know, we stick together, you know, and I think that, you know, coach really preaches defense. He doesn't worry about too much of the offense, you know, offense is offense and defense is, you know, where we're going to win the game. So I think we got to be strong on defense and be tough and, you know, rebound and, you know, keep teams from scoring a lot of points.
Now engaged in Group F in this top 16 round, Jarrells will meet his former team Fenerbahçe Ülker Istanbul in a promising Turkish derby. There's no reason to miss it, and no reason to underestimate Beşiktaş anymore. Now let's take a look to the top 10 plays of the regular season.
Number 10, Week 4, Barcelona, Spain. Final 2 minutes. In a game-saving moment, Marcelinho Huertas of Barcelona takes a rebound on the bounce and in the same motion sends back an impossible three-pointer to beat the shot clock. Number 9, Week 3, Piraeus, Greece. Tremel Darden of Zalgiris goes from the sideline to the rim in a flash with a crossover and a high-flying dunk. Number 8, Week 7, Moscow, Russia. CSKA point guard Aaron Jackson chases down a steal, tricks his defender with a crossover, and sends a one-of-a-kind pass to Sonny Weems for an easy 2 points. Number 7, Week 1, Madrid, Spain. Alley-oop time for Real Madrid. Sergio Llull sends up a pass, and Rudy Fernandez brings down the slam. Number 6, Week 6, Tel Aviv, Israel. Earl Calloway of Unicaja finds Zoran Dragic, whose shot is blocked by Ricky Hickman. But James Gist comes out of nowhere for a monster putback. Number 5, Week 2, still in Tel Aviv. Bobby Brown of Montepaschi Siena from beyond the midcourt. And it's nothing but net. Number 4, Week 2, again Tel Aviv. Yogev Ohayon connects with Malcolm Thomas, who rolls off a high post pick for a tomahawk jam. Number 3, Week 10, Madrid, Spain. Fast break thrills from Real Madrid. Sergio Rodriguez no-look to Nikola Mirotic. Underhand to Sergio Llull for a sky-walking slam. Number 2, Week 5, Belgrade, Serbia. Philip Neumann attacks the basket for Bamberg, and Drew Gordon sends the shot flying off the glass. Number 1, Week 4, Siena, Italy. Bobby Brown collects the steal, races the other way, and lifts the Montepaschi crowd to its feet with a show-stopping dunk.
The new Top 16 is about to start. FC Barcelona Regal is coming off a home defeat against CSKA Moscow, and that was the first knockout in front of its fans in 2 years in the regular season or Top 16 games. The previous one came against Fenerbahce Ulka Istanbul in the 2010-11 season, when they were defeated 69-61 in Spain. Back then, former Barcelona guard Roko Ukic led the Turkish team with 13 points and 6 rebounds, followed by 12 points scored by Marko Tomas. Some of the stars that played that game are still wearing the same jersey, like Juan Carlos Navarro, Erasem Lorbek and August Savaš and Emir Prelzic. In this Turkish Airlines Euroleague season, Caja Laboral Vitoria survived the worst start in its history with only 1 win in the first 7 games, and will once again meet Olympiakos Piraeus after 2 defeats against the Greek team in the regular season. In Week 1 of the 2009-10 Top 16, they met each other in Vitoria, and it turned out to be another victory for the Reds, 89-85, en route to a Final Four qualification. Josh Childress led Olympiakos with 21 points and 7 rebounds in that game, while Linas Kleza and Ioannis Borousis combined for 36 points and 18 rebounds. Fernando Sanamaterio is the only player that is still playing for the same club, as he's now in his 5th season with Caja Laboral. 2 top echelon powerhouses with a decade of intense battles behind them, Montepaschi Siena of Italy and Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv of Israel, face off Thursday in the first game of the week of the new and improved Turkish Airlines Euroleague Top 16. 10 years and 1 week after making its first visit ever to Siena, Maccabi returns with a 10-3 record against Montepaschi, knowing only 3 of those victories came by more than 7 points. Their history of tight games was established even as Maccabi was becoming the Euroleague's only back-to-back champion this century. In the 2003-04 regular season, Maccabi won in Siena by the margin of Anthony Parker's 4-point play with 30 seconds left. But the rematch in Tel Aviv was even closer, with a tiebreaker by Sarunas Jasikevicius with 1.5 seconds left, giving Maccabi another victory. A year later in the Top 16, Jasikevicius saved defending champion Maccabi again by hitting his first of 9 3-point tries that night with just 22 seconds left in a 1-point victory over Siena. In their only Final Four meeting to date, Maccabi broke Siena hearts again, rallying from 18 points down in the 2008 semi-finals as Derek Sharp led an incredible 70-point effort from his team's bench. Since then, Siena has been able to stop Maccabi twice, taking their last regular season battle 1 month ago as Thomas Ress rallied Montepaschi to a 2-point home win. In addition to sharing 9 Final Four appearances between them in the last decade, Siena and Maccabi do their best to thrill fans, with 9 of their last 11 games decided by 7 points or less. What that means for Turkish Airlines Euroleague fans is clear. High drama is all but guaranteed as Montepaschi Siena hosts Maccabi Electra Tel Aviv to open a promising new Top 16 in the next game of the week.
Turkish Airlines Euroleague. I feel devotion.